The very second ice-cold water hits your completely empty stomach, your brain instantly registers a localized thermal crisis, freezing your digestive engine in its tracks and forcing your cardiovascular system to divert precious energy resources just to warm that fluid up to 37 degrees Celsius. You think you are simply hydrating your tissues after a long night of sleep, but your internal organs are actually staging an immediate, complex thermodynamic rescue mission. This sudden shift alters your metabolic rate, changes how your stomach enzymes break down food, and even dictates how quickly water can actually cross into your bloodstream to reach your thirsty cells. It is a silent, fascinating chain reaction happening right under your ribs that reshapes your daily physical energy. To truly understand this, we have to look closely at the elegant, invisible system of thermal regulation and fluid dynamics that operates within your gastrointestinal tract every single day. Have you ever wondered why your stomach sometimes feels like a heavy, sloshing bowling ball after a cold drink? Most of us view our stomach as a simple holding tank, a biological bucket that accepts whatever we swallow and passes it along. But the reality is infinitely more sophisticated. Your digestive system is a highly calibrated, temperature-sensitive chemical refinery that relies on precise thermal conditions to keep you alive, energized, and clear-headed. When we introduce a sudden temperature extreme to this empty, resting system, we trigger a cascade of cellular responses that changes how our body manages energy, processes nutrients, and maintains its delicate internal equilibrium. Think about the physical sensation of waking up in the morning. Your mouth feels dry, your mind is slightly foggy, and you reach for a tall, sweating glass of ice water from the refrigerator. As you gulp it down, a wave of intense cold spreads through your chest. It feels incredibly refreshing, almost like an instant wake-up call to your senses. But beneath that crisp, clean sensation, your internal biology is experiencing something entirely different. Your stomach is a muscular pouch wrapped in a dense network of blood vessels, and it operates best at your core body temperature of roughly 37 degrees Celsius, which is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When you pour water that is near freezing, say 4 degrees Celsius, directly into this warm chamber, you are essentially dropping a massive ice block into a delicate, warm incubator. In a landmark study published in 2003, Dr. Michael Boschman and his research team at the Franz Volhard Clinical Research Center investigated this exact phenomenon. They wanted to see how the temperature of ingested water affects human energy expenditure and metabolic rate. What they discovered was truly remarkable. When subjects drank cold water, their bodies immediately ramped up thermogenesis, the process of heat production, to warm the water up to match the core body temperature. This process actually increased their metabolic rate by 30% for over an hour. While that might sound like a dream for anyone trying to burn extra calories, we have to look at where that energy is coming from. Your cells are not simply burning fat as a free lunch. They are diverting precious adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is the universal energy currency of your body, away from other vital tasks. To understand how this feels on a cellular level, imagine your stomach as a busy, warm greenhouse. The plants inside are your digestive enzymes, specifically pepsin, which requires a warm, acidic environment to activate and break down proteins. If you suddenly spray the entire greenhouse with freezing water, the plants do not die, but they instantly freeze up, their leaves close, and all growth grinds to a halt. Your stomach enzymes behave the exact same way. When the temperature of the gastric mucosa drops, these molecular machinery units lose their shape and flexibility, rendering them temporarily inactive. The warm environment of your stomach is not just a preference, it is a strict biological requirement for optimal digestion. When you force your body to expend energy warming that water up, you are placing a thermodynamic tax on your entire system, pulling heat and energy away from your brain, muscles, and immune system just to restore thermal balance to your gut. But here is the truly mind-bending part of this biological puzzle, a counterintuitive reality that completely changes how we think about hydration. Drinking ice-cold water on an empty stomach can actually leave you dehydrated for longer than drinking warm water. How is that even possible? It all comes down to a small, powerful muscular ring at the very bottom of your stomach called the pyloric sphincter. This tiny muscular gateway is the ultimate security guard of your digestive tract. It decides exactly when and how much content is allowed to leave the stomach and enter the small intestine. And here is the secret: your body cannot absorb water through the walls of your stomach. Almost 95% of all water absorption happens further down, in the highly specialized membrane walls of your small intestine, where millions of microscopic channels called aquaporins wait to pull water molecules into your bloodstream. So, what happens when that cold water hits the empty stomach? Instead of letting the water flow freely through into your intestines to hydrate your brain and tissues, the pyloric sphincter senses the low temperature and immediately clamps shut. It locks the gates. The stomach insists on holding that water hostage in a tight, muscular grip, refusing to let it pass until it has been warmed up to body temperature. This was beautifully demonstrated in a study conducted by Dr. Stefan Sun in 2012, where researchers used advanced imaging to track the movement of fluids at different temperatures through the human digestive tract. They found that warm and room temperature liquids bypass the stomach almost instantly, sliding through the open pyloric sphincter and into the bloodstream within mere minutes. Cold liquids, however, sit stagnant in the gastric cavity, delayed by a protective spasm of the pyloric muscle. Think about what this means for your daily life. You finish a hard workout, or you wake up parched and you chug a large bottle of ice-cold water, expecting instant hydration. Instead, that water sits like a heavy, cold brick in your stomach. While your circulating blood volume remains low, your brain cells remain slightly shriveled, and your physical performance flags. Your body is actually forced to pump warm blood toward your stomach walls to act as an internal radiator, heating the water from the outside in. This draws blood flow away from your active skeletal muscles and your prefrontal cortex. You might feel a sudden wave of lethargy, a slight heaviness in your gut, or even a mild, transient headache. It is not in your head. It is a direct result of your cardiovascular system shifting its priorities to resolve a self-inflicted thermal imbalance. Now that we understand this elegant internal machinery, we do not have to live at the mercy of it. We can work with our biology instead of fighting against it. Here are 3 simple, highly effective habits you can implement to optimize your hydration, protect your digestive enzymes, and keep your metabolic energy flowing exactly where it belongs. First, adopt the ritual of the morning thermal prime. Instead of reaching for iced water first thing in the morning, prepare a glass of water that is warm to the touch, roughly 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. When you drink this on an empty stomach, the biological response is almost instantaneous and incredibly gentle. Because the water matches your internal temperature, your pyloric sphincter relaxes immediately, allowing the fluid to cascade directly into your small intestine for rapid cellular hydration. This warm fluid also gently stimulates the vagus nerve, which runs from your brain all the way to your abdomen. This stimulation triggers peristalsis, the rhythmic, wave-like muscular contractions of your entire digestive tract, waking up your bowels naturally and signaling your liver and gallbladder to begin releasing bile, preparing your body for a day of efficient nutrient absorption. Second, establish a 30-minute thermal buffer zone around your meals. If you prefer to drink cold beverages, make sure you finish them at least 30 minutes before you eat, or wait at least 30 minutes after you have finished your meal. This simple timing change prevents you from chilling your gastric juices during the critical phase of digestion. By keeping your stomach at its optimal 37 degrees Celsius, your digestive enzymes can break down proteins and fats with maximum efficiency. This prevents incomplete digestion, which is the primary cause of bloating, gas, and that uncomfortable heavy sensation that makes you want to lie down after eating. You are keeping your internal oven hot so it can burn your food cleanly. Third, if you find yourself in a situation where only cold water is available, utilize the oral heat exchange technique. Instead of gulping the cold water down in large, rapid swallows, take smaller sips and hold the liquid in your mouth for 3 to 5 seconds before swallowing. Your oral cavity is incredibly rich in superficial blood vessels, making it an extremely efficient heat exchanger. By holding the water in your mouth, you allow your body temperature to warm the fluid slightly before it travels down your esophagus. This simple pause significantly reduces the thermal shock to your vagus nerve and prevents the sudden clamping of your pyloric sphincter, allowing for much smoother, more comfortable hydration even when you are on the go. When you begin to observe your daily habits through this lens of internal biology, something fundamental shifts inside you. You no longer see your body as a passive machine that you can just pour inputs into without consequence. You start to realize that every single choice, even something as simple as the temperature of the water you drink, initiates a beautiful, complex symphony of cellular actions beneath your skin. Your stomach, your blood vessels, your brain, and your enzymes are constantly collaborating to keep you balanced, working tirelessly to protect you from the minor shocks of the modern world. You begin to treat your body not as an object to be filled, but as a living, breathing ecosystem that deserves your partnership and understanding. This journey into the hidden science of your own body is just beginning. By aligning your daily habits with your internal design, you reclaim a level of health and vitality that feels completely natural and effortless. Keep listening to what your biology is telling you. Keep marveling at the remarkable machinery that keeps you moving, and prepare yourself, because what we are going to uncover next about how your body responds to another completely unnoticed daily exposure will change your understanding of your own health forever.